Hi, and welcome to Bourbon Blind, where the guys drink what you guys pick. If you would like to see a bottle on the show or have a bottle you absolutely hate and want to watch them cringe, go ahead and place an email to us at bourbonblindtasting@gmail.com, or feel free to leave a comment in the section below. So our pick tonight comes from Pal Joey 1957, and thank you so much for your comments and emailing us. As always, the guys don't know what they're drinking, so they're going to tell you what they think the bottle's worth. They're going to tell you what they think that they're tasting, and then they will figure out exactly what they're drinking. So tonight's bottle is this one. And after I pour it and we hide it, we'll go ahead and get the guys and we'll see what they think of it.
Hello.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another awesome episode of Bourbon Blind. I'm Kyle.
I'm Jason.
Let's go ahead and get into it. You guys know what we do, so see some whiskey. Do that little roll around for you guys. Smells good. Nice little amber.
I have a little bottle of the United States of America forming in the whiskey running down my glass. There's Florida.
They're really thick legs. They're not really coming down.
Oh, that's a good nose.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you already smelled it? It's really good.
Little deep. It's not. Almost get like a leathery, like an oaky, leathery kind of taste.
I was going to say leather.
Or smell. Not really fruity. You definitely still get those butterscotch caramel
It's
notes
very
in
dark
there.
on the fruit side.
A little bit of vanilla.
He's just going to list everything over here.
If I could. Well, I was trying to think of when you said like a darker fruit, like almost like a mashed apple pie. Like, does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, a little bit. This smells a lot like a cigar to me, in a good way. A good cigar. It reminds me of a few cigar shops I've been to.
Cheers. I'm going, whoa. Woo! It's spicy. Like an allspice. And,
Lots of spice.
yeah.
Wasn't expecting it.
Didn't get that on the nose. Still don't get it on the nose, even after the flavor.
Are you getting any mint on the nose?
Mm-hmm. A little bit. It's down in there, but yeah. You do get some mint in there.
Getting some proof and some caramel on the taste.
Definitely a little bit higher proof. I would say 100, 110 area.
About a gallon of proof.
About a gallon. A proof gallon. Man, that's good.
It's a little hard for me to drink this episode because I have a sore throat. Drinking with tonsillitis.
Drinking kills tonsillitis.
Well, it sanitizes everything on the inside, right? That's what my doctor says.
Burn that shit out.
He has a degree.
He's a doctor. He knows what he's talking about, right? Some chocolate on the back end. Like a dark. Oh, we need some dark chocolate to go with this. That would be good. Some dark chocolate with whatever is in here. You guys know.
I'm disappearing for reasons.
I don't think there's any in there.
Orange. That's what I'm tasting. It's orange.
Yeah, I can go with some orange. Looks like orange.
Left none to water down.
Oops.
That was an accident. I'm sorry.
thief. Thievery, man. You guys see that? See that? Just happened. Ooh, yeah, like cigar leather. I want to try and get a price before I put water in it because I don't want water destroying it. Got it.
Don't add too much water.
Got it.
Just like 2 drops. Or 3, because I said 2, he's going to put 3. If he would have said
Exactly.
3, he would have put 2.
True story. Also true. Ooh, killed the nose. Should have gone with 2.
I know that we kind of set a secret rule between ourselves that we wouldn't say the words rye or wheat. Because a couple times we've been way wrong about saying, hey, this tastes like it's got a lot of rye in it, and it turns out to have been a wheater, or the other way around. I'm tasting quite a bit of rye in this. I tried to not say it, but I'm saying it.
I definitely, yeah, it's definitely got some rye spicy in there. You know, come to find out though, in some of the comments, we're not the only people to taste like that rye spiciness.
Like it's a lower percentage, but it's prominent.
In Weller 12 year.
Yeah.
There's just something about it. If I had to guess, it's probably like the tannins from the oak that is being confused with the ryeness. But legs for days on this thing.
I like this one. I like this one a lot. I'm going to go a little higher than usual and say 45 to... Actually, I'm going to say 50 to 60 on this one. I like it a lot.
That's good. Because I was going to say 70 to 80. So I didn't want to make you seem like a cheapskate.
Yeah, well, I am. If you haven't watched enough of the episodes to realize this by now, I always lowball.
There will be
Because
some more
I
episodes
think people
here.
charge too much for whiskey.
Dude, I saw today, there's a new Kentucky Owl, batch number 2 rye coming out. They're lowering, the old batch was a batch proof, I think it was like 114, 115 proof, and a retail price of $129. Today, I saw, and this is going to air in a couple weeks, so you guys may be already knowing this, but if not, they're lowering the proof to 100 proof and raising the price to $199. I don't think that's okay. I mean, I'm not going to tell them how to run their business. They can do what they want. It's still going to be a limited run, so they're probably going to sell out regardless. But that being said, I mean, that $200 mark, that puts it out of a lot of people's reach.
People think too much of their shit.
For real. Yeah. Like, it's
killing it. Everybody's prices are like everywhere is just going up, 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 and one day it's just not going to be worth it. Like you're going to be paying $60 a bottle for Buffalo Trace. I'm sure some of you already are in some places. Now here in Fayetteville, Tennessee, I know in Dixon, Tennessee, where I'm from, $28, $30 a bottle for Buffalo Trace.
It's about right around the corner from our house, right where we are right now. It's about $26 a bottle for Buffalo Trace. However, if you go 2 miles down the road to another shop, apparently Buffalo Trace is hard to get, and they're charging $40 to $45 a bottle for it.
And
I don't get it.
I've heard some talk of it becoming an allocated whiskey.
In some states, it already is,
That's so stupid.
and Eagle Rare for that matter.
It's
Around
their
here-
most popular whiskey, or their most abundant whiskey that comes out of the distillery.
It is literally their house brand. Like, this should be on the shelf.
If
in
you
every
haven't
store.
been there, they've got like 3-story tall tanks that they make the stuff in.
Yeah, like.
Is it 3 stories? 3 or 4? It's tall.
like
They're
two-
ridiculous, and
I
there's
think they're
so
like-
many of them.
I think they're like 210,000 gallon vats, and that they brew the basically the beer in, and I mean it's.
The stills are unbelievable. They're freaking huge.
and they're awesome. All the equipment in there is like 1930 stuff.
There's actually a story. If you take the one of the tours, I don't know if they tell you this on all the tours, but the tour that we went on, what was it
It was
called?
the Hard Hat Tour.
The Hard Hat Tour. They take you to the top and they tell you a true story about how somebody fell in one of them, and because of the what's the word I'm thinking of? Not density. Your buoyancy in that.
The aeration and
Because it
bubbles.
yeah, it's a lot of carbon dioxide coming up through it, and you can't. You're just.
He
I
sank
don't
like a
know what I'm
rock.
You become very negatively buoyant in it. You sink like a rock. You can't swim to the top to save your life. It's like you have a lead weight tied to your leg.
Literally.
So, they had to drain it and they had to get them out before they could make more whiskey. Or else that would have been a very special batch.
Dead men tell no tales.
Sorry, the camera stopped recording on us.
So prices of whiskey have been going up everywhere, and not just whiskey, but bourbon, and like rye whiskey. And one of the great things about bourbon and American whiskey is it's always been affordable. It's always been available to the average everyday man. Even your Pappy Van Winkle, George T. Stagg, they're $100, $150 for, you know, some of the most premium, sought-after bourbons. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is $70 to $80. That's totally acceptable. But it's these premium allocations and all that kind of stuff. To us, would I pay $50 to $70 for a bottle? Absolutely. Yeah, not a problem. Would I pay $100 to $120? If it's good.
Starting to lose my business there.
If it's really good. If it's a high proof and it's a good bourbon and it's good, it's good. But if it's some 90 proof something or other, I'm not paying over $100 for it. There's no way.
If I get a hefty tax return, I might buy a bottle of George T. Stagg or something. Like $200 somewhere in there is my cutoff. And I'll enjoy it slowly. But I'm not always going to walk into a liquor store and find something I really want at twice retail. Never walking away with that. Unless I just have money to spend.
Right. But once you get past that like $150 mark, like I think that cuts a lot of people out of that area. It's just not realistic. And we're talking about bourbon and rye whiskey. It's not like, I would really hate to see this industry go the way of like Scotch. You know what I mean? Where it costs you like a minimum of $50 to get anything even barely halfway decent, and you're paying $100, $150 on a regular for a decent bottle. To me, that's just not, it's not what it's about. So I really hope bourbon and American whiskey doesn't go that way. That's what I'm getting at.
Real quick, when it comes to Scotch, Glenmorangie 18-year extremely rare. My favorite. So good.
Not a Scotch.
Very citrusy. It's like they squeeze a lemon into it before they put the cork in. Are we ready to review this? Did we forget about it?
I think I said 70 to 80. You said...
Right below that, like 60 to 70, I think. 55 to
So we're both in that
somewhere
about
in
$60 range.
Ready?
Do it to it. Oh!
Pikesville Rye.
It is definitely a rye. And it is 110 proof. And
Didn't we do a tasting on this recently?
whiskey is aged at least 6 years. Not on this show.
Oh, you're right.
Fun fact, talking about premium whiskeys and stuff, Pikesville Rye has won a bunch of awards lately. It's not just...
I don't drink much anymore, so tonight's going to be a drinking night. Kind of breaking my... My AA counselor would be so ashamed. Luckily, he doesn't watch these videos.
He doesn't have the internet. He doesn't know what the internet is.
Bro, like, next Saturday I get my 3-month sober token.
You don't. He is not an AA. He couldn't survive 1 hour in AA.
Oh, that's so good.
This has won a ton of awards, not just in the big competitions and stuff. I don't even know if we should be saying this, because it's kind of a little secret. Like, this isn't something that everyone knows how good it is, so we shouldn't put it out there.
Actually, shouldn't air this episode at all.
Right.
I want to keep the price of this down.
I'd pay $15 for it.
How much is it again? 50?
It's about $50 a bottle. But there's been a bunch of people that have done a lot of like blind tastings in like whiskey societies and bourbon groups and all kinds of stuff. I think of the big ones that I've seen, out of like 8 to 10 whiskeys, pretty much every single blind tasting, this one has come out on top.
It's so good. So well balanced.
It is. It's good.
The alcohol's there if you look for it, but the notes of everything else that's good and smooth and it like are overpowering the alcohol.
It's all balanced. It really is. For 110 proof, it's, like I said, we could tell the flavor was there, but the ethanol burn on it wasn't really notable to any extent. So anyway, Pikesville Rye. It is a rye whiskey. It's not a bourbon. So it means it's at least 51% rye, not 51% corn. It is produced by Heaven Hill. And other than that, I mean, it's a solid whiskey, guys.
Did you mention this yet? 2015 Double Gold.
Yeah, and that's the San Francisco Spirits and Rye of the Year, #2 Whiskey of the Year, blah, 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 in the Whiskey Bible. Of these, I'm going to be straight with you guys. Don't pay a whole lot of attention to these. The only one that I really pay attention to is if it got a double gold. And that means all 3 judges gave it at least a 95 score. They score them blind, so they don't know what they're tasting. It is a double gold.
2015.
But double gold means all 3 judges gave it the highest score possible, the highest category of scoring. So that alone means that generally it's going to be good all around. A single gold means at least 1 judge gave it a gold, and the other 2 could have given it a bronze, and I believe it still gets a gold medal. I could be wrong on that. Feel free to correct me if I am, but I was actually watching the guy that runs the San Francisco scoring area, and that's the way it sounded like it came across to me. Out of like 2,100 entries, over 2,000 of them got some sort of medal. So, but again, the double gold, I do pay attention to that because, like I said, that means everyone liked it to the highest degree. So, cheers.
I want to see a Mona Lisa being painted in in these legs.
Are you saying you like Mona Lisa's legs?
I wish I saw her legs. Why didn't he not continue that drawing downward?
There was. They just like cut it off and framed the upper portion. The bottom portion was inappropriate.
But Mona Lisa was a freak. You can see it in her face. Next time you look at Mona Lisa, look in her face and tell me you don't see the freak in her.
Guys, till next week, cheers. Drink blind.
Blindly drink.
God, I'm sucking tonight. The first one was so much better.
Double fist bump. Double fist bump.